Hi guys and welcome back to Riley's on the Road.
We were in Jacksonville for 2 weeks.
Let's check it out.
The drive to Jacksonville was 3 hours. We stayed at Catherine Abbey Hanna Park. There were a lot of trees, so we did not get Wi-Fi, but it was very pretty. There was also a beach. We did school in the pavilion, and Gemma and Brietta did some kiwi boxes. They are craft kits. Gemma made Big Ben. In the park, there were multiple bike trails. We took one to get to a lake and a playground. Melina and I put on the Everglade and Manatee stickers.
Our campground was right next to the beach. Since we were in walking distance of the beach, we visited multiple times. We looked for seashells and played in the water even though it was pretty cold. Our first outing was to Kingsley Plantation. We rode the ferry instead of driving out of our way to the bridge. This one was much bigger than the one we're used to riding in Balboa Island that can hold 3 cars. This one could hold around 20 to 25. After we got off the ferry, the drive to the plantation was beautiful, but a little bumpy since it was a dirt road. We listened to an audio tour of the plantation and learned about its history. In 1814, Zephaniah Kingsley moved to Fort George Island with his wife Anna, a black slave he bought and later married. He actively participated in plantation management and owned her own land and even slaves after she was freed. With an enslaved workforce of about 60, the Kingsley plantation produced mainly Sea Island cotton, but also citrus, sugarcane, and corn.
One day we went to the Museum of Science and History, otherwise known as MOSH. There was science and history together. That was very interesting. There was an animal room and a building room, as well as a space room. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of the museums we go to with our membership have space rooms.
One of 2 big outings we did while we were in Jacksonville was Cumberland Island National Seashore. To get to the island, you have to take a 45-minute boat ride. We rode inside the boat on the way there because it was cold and windy outside. When we got there, our tour was just starting, so we decided to join. It was definitely worth the time, and we would never have learned the same information without it. Plus, our tour guide was really nice. Cumberland Island is home to a multitude of animals, the most known being wild horses, but there are also armadillos, wild turkeys, and shorebirds. In 1785, the Revolutionary War hero General Nathanael Greene was given Cumberland Island as a repayment for his financial contributions in the war. When he died unexpectedly, his wife Catherine was left to manage their home named Dungeness and their plantation. Dungeness burned down while Union soldiers used it as a post during the Civil War. In 1884, steel tycoon Thomas and Lucy Carnegie bought Cumberland Island. They built a mansion on the site of Dungeness and named theirs Dungeness after the first house. Thomas died before completion, so Lucy and her family made Dungeness their permanent residence. Lucy built many homes for her children on the island when they got older, including Plum Orchard, Stafford Mansion, and Grayfield. Lucy died in 1913, and eventually her children moved away when they couldn't afford their luxurious lifestyle, and the island became uninhabited. In 1959, Dungeness burned down, and it is rumored that poachers were responsible for the fire. Cumberland Island is full of rich history, and it is impossible to learn it all without visiting yourself. After the tour, we walked along the beach that is scattered with seashells to get back in time for the last ferry. The girls also finished their junior ranger packets and said the pledge before we left.
Another day we went to St. Augustine. We took a trolley tour. We could get on and off at any of the stops along the way, listening to the history of the town. We got off at the Castillo de San Marcos. It was an old fort. A fact about it is it has never been taken in battle. We watched a live cannon firing demonstration. The soldier volunteers are dressed in Spanish uniform, but the fort has also been kept by the French and the USA. Another stop was the Colonial Quarter with a lot of little shops. Our parents got a drink in City Gate Spirits. All of us went to the Hippo Popsicles. They were amazing. Brietta, Gemma, and I got horchata popsicles. I absolutely loved it. Melina got chocolate peppermint. Definitely recommend the Hippo. St. Augustine has beautiful architecture. There are many churches and a big, beautiful college. Toward the end of the tour, we saw a bunch of peacocks. Our uncle used to live in Jacksonville, and he suggested Sam St. John's seafood for dinner. Brietta and Gemma got popcorn shrimp, Melina and I got fish, and Mom got crab stuffed flounder. We also went on a special day for my dad, all-you-can-eat crab. He ended up eating almost 5 pounds of crab. It was a good seafood restaurant.
Fort Caroline was a French fort established while the Spanish controlled Florida. The French and the Spanish both planned to attack each other during a hurricane. The ship carrying the French soldiers shipwrecked while the Spanish went by land and destroyed the fort. No one really knows where the original fort is, and historians only guessed on its location based on writings. The fort today is a recreation of the original, and the mystery surrounding Fort Caroline has puzzled people for a long time. One day we got a behind-the-scenes tour at Sweet Pete's. It's a candy shop that makes some of its own candy, specifically chocolate. At the beginning of the tour, we got to taste test some varieties of Sweet Pete's chocolate, including milk, dark, white, ruby red, and golden. I had never tried golden chocolate before, and in my opinion, it's better than white chocolate. Then we saw the kitchen, where all of their chocolate is made. They even have Veruca Salt's golden ticket from the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. At the end of the tour, we got ice cream with chocolate sauce. Both Mom and Ashwin don't like chocolate, so all the chocolate they got, they gave to someone else. Plus, we got to customize our own chocolate bars with our choice of dark or milk chocolate and 3 toppings. I had a really nice time on this tour, and the candy was really good. Afterwards, we walked around downtown before heading back to the car because there was a street fair going on.
We stayed at a city park in Jacksonville. Luckily, they gave us a veterans discount. It was very nice as far as public campgrounds go, with coded gate entry and after-hours security at the front when rangers went home. This was our surf and turf stay. We splurged at Texas Roadhouse for steak. Thankfully, we used a Veterans Day voucher for David's meal, along with a gift card we received when we left San Diego. We have gone to Sam St. John's every time we visited Jacksonville to see Uncle Billy. David was the only one who opted for the all-you-can-eat crab, and he made sure to get his money's worth. Our excursion to Cumberland Island was pricey, worth it. And the trolley tour in St. Augustine was chock full of history. We've been on it before, but the kids were too young to remember it. Most of the other parks we visited were either free or covered by our national park pass.
We had fun exploring Jacksonville.
See you next week on Rise on the Road. Bye!